Ahead on Early Birds, the Falcons have a chance to get right against a team that hasn't got much right this year. We'll have Shock in the film room to break down how to pummel the Panthers, plus how big NIL money is changing decisions to turn pro, and D. Alford details the details that most of us miss. We'll have that and more for you on Early Birds.
Grab a cup of your favorite Joe and let's talk Falcons football on Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Good morning and welcome into Early Birds. He's DJ, I'm Justin. So the Falcons get ready to pay a visit to the team with the worst record in football, and Shock, you are feeling how?
I don't care about it because we have played a team with the worst record this year and it didn't go our way. So let's just win the ball game. Forget about the records. Forget about where we got 4 games left. Start with Carolina. Let's go get a dub.
Hey, all teams are good. That's what Arthur
doubt.
Smith would say. Let's get things started with the opening drive and Shock Falcons and Panthers tomorrow at 1 here on Fox 5. Atlanta tied for the division lead, but Tampa Bay now holds the tiebreaker. So look, bottom line is this. It's exactly what you just said. Every NFL team has dudes, but this is a team that you've got to think, right, the Falcons should win.
Absolutely. When you look at the way this season has gone for them, they lost 6 straight. Our Falcons have been up and down, but this is a game where you look at it and say, we have the better team all the way down the line. The rookie quarterback hasn't played well, but all of a sudden, here we go. Our quarterback is stepping up. He's making plays. We have to win this ball game and play to our ability and not go on the road and lay an egg, because that is not what you do at the end of the season. Good teams find a way to get a win at the end of the year. And if you want to be one of those, you got to get this one.
Shocker, you can say must win. That's common. You don't hear NFL players say must win that often, but this week might be an exception.
Every game at this point down the stretch is pretty much a must-win if we want to get in. I think we're all tied at the top of the division, all 3 of us. We play the Panthers this week. It's an opportunity to go out there, get a win. You know, who knows what will happen with the Saints and the Bucks.
Yeah, at the end of the day, because of how the season's gone so far, that's where we're at, and we got to win it. But that's kind of how again, it's the NFL, so every game's like that.
Yeah, Falcons know how this thing sets up, and as we continue on the opening drive, Shock, you think the Panthers might want a mulligan on their first-round pick?
I'm going to be honest. I think they do.
Bryce Young, he's had good moments, but he's been really quiet during Carolina's losing streak. So how do you keep him from getting going tomorrow?
I think the bottom line is you have to get after Bryce Young. And whenever he's had not so much success, you've put guys in front of him. You've flustered him. You've kind of confused him. You've gotten to him. If you can hit Bryce Young, force him out of the pocket, make him uncomfortable, that's where you've seen him really struggle this season without having the protection up front. So I think that's the biggest thing they have to do. Will they do it? We'll see. And I think it's a big part of the game. Here's what A.J. Terrell has seen on film.
It seems like they're just trying to simplify the game plan a little bit, try to get the ball out of his hands quick still, and make sure they get the run game going. Anything that we do is just attacking aggressive, and that's how we attacking the game plan, just giving him different looks and, just staying poised and just getting after the quarterback, getting after the ball and trying to force turnovers.
And as we wrap up the opening drive, always keep your hands and feet inside the Falcons season at all times. Hey, it's a roller coaster. That's Arthur Smith's word, not ours. DJ, the coach keeps saying it. So how does this team, especially on offense, smooth out the ups and downs?
You have to be more consistent, and you cannot, you cannot have these self-inflicted wounds that you have on offense, the false starts, the holding penalties. Those are things that set you back and get you behind the chains. You have to be consistent. I mean, it's hard to do that because they're good players on the other side, but you can't hurt yourself. And I think ultimately, if you could do that, it'll shut down some of the things that you've done and hurt yourself throughout this season.
That would be the key, consistency. Indeed. Well, welcome into Early Birds alongside DJ Shockley. I'm Justin Felder. Whether they have 1 win or 10, the Panthers certainly have some good players on this team. Derek Brown, a guy who played high school football around here. Who jumps off the tape for you?
You know, it's a guy, Frankie Louvo, on the same side of the ball. 4.5 sacks, a guy who can really put pressure on you. He is their leading sack guy on that side. We saw what happened last time we seen them. They got a couple sacks early in the ball game. You have to find a way to kind of limit that. Yeah,
defense has played well. Well, Shock, can't you feel the sun? Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you feel the moonshine when I'm gone to the film room in my mind?
Moonshine, I know what that is. I don't know the song, but I know what that is.
It's Gone to Carolina. James Taylor?
Yeah.
It's a good song, classic. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Sometimes
you
gotta help. I have no idea.
Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. Go warm up the telestrator. We'll see you in a few. But first, the NFL can be a small world. Falcons wide receiver Van Jefferson, the son of former Falcon Shawn Jefferson, grew up around the league. He even knew Arthur Smith as a high schooler when his dad was coaching for the Titans. Our Kelly Price goes one-on-one with Van to talk more about how that connection comes into play again this Sunday.
So your dad is on the coaching staff for the Panthers. Is it weird to think, hey, I'm going up against my dad this week? Is there trash talk going on this week as you lead up to the game?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes, you know, when my dad is feeling frisky, he wants to call and, you know, he wants to say certain things. But, you know, this is not the first time I played against him. You know, I played against him, you know, when he was with the Cardinals. You know, the Rams and the Cardinals share the same division. So, you know, some good battles, you know, during those years. But, you know, it's always exciting playing against my dad. And it's always just, you know, a humbling moment, you know, to have my dad coach and to have him play. And then to me and following his footsteps and being able to play in the NFL, you know, it's just a blessing. So definitely excited for it, and, you know, definitely, you know, can't wait to see him.
So he played for 13 years, and he also played with the Falcons. So
yes. What
have you learned from him, maybe just about being in this league, sticking in this league, and then also what maybe he told you about Atlanta?
Yeah, this is probably my most vivid memory of me, you know, of him playing in the NFL, because I was of age where I could kind of understand the game. And I just remember, you know, he would come after the game and come get me out of the stands, and I'd be able to walk on the sideline and go to the locker room with him, man. That was some of like my best memories that I had with him. But, you know, he just taught me, you know, coming out from high school to college to the NFL, you know, just hard work all the time. You know, just persevering and coming over adversity. You know, you're always gonna have some adversity. You know, all the life lessons he taught me. You know, I just try to stick to him and, you know, and listen to what he says.
It sounds like it was good memories with the Falcons. What are some of those maybe like game memories that you have, or players that were here when he was here?
Yeah, you know, I know Work Done was here when he was here.
That's a good one to have.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, he's a great dude, and I know you played with Michael Vick for a little bit, so obviously Michael Vick. But yeah, I just remember, you know, some of those premier guys that were here, and Brian Finneran was here, so I remember him too as well. And so yeah, I was around some great players that he, you know, was teammates with, and got to see those things.
When you think ahead to this Panthers game, obviously they're a team overall that has just one win. Is it hard to go in a game like that for a team like you guys who are fighting for a playoff spot, for fighting for something in this season, and they kind of have nothing to lose? Yeah,
but I mean, I think you got to just treat every game like, you know, a playoff game from here on out. You know, of course we want to make the playoffs and, you know, make a playoff push. You know, it's the NFL. You know, any given Sunday, you know, something can happen. So we got to put our best foot forward and go out there and play, you know, like the team that we are and the team that we know we are.
It's time to get some game intel from Shock. You're invited into the film room. So cut the lights and let's get started.
All right, let's talk about our defense and some of the things that teams try to do to affect us. And this is a fast-flowing defense from the Falcons. So what teams try to do is they try to catch you in man coverage. On this particular play, the Falcons are in what's called two-man coverage. So you got man coverage all over the board here. So you see everybody has a man. Everybody has a man all the way across the board. And on this play, they want to run this screen play over here to this back. They want to run a screenplay here, and here's the guy who has them in man coverage. Now what they do is they do a good job of getting him out in front, which actually blocks this guy, and you catch a really good defense playing aggressive, playing fast, and they do a lot of good job of this. So you got to make sure in this ball game, especially versus Carolina, who have a really good back, that you kind of watch what they try to do, especially in man coverage. This is a screenplay. You're two-man. Everybody's in man coverage. So here's a guy that has him in man coverage. They do a good job of getting this lineman out to block him, who has this guy in man coverage. You got to be able to get this guy out of it. So they do a great job of forcing the issue here. They kick him out there, and I'm going to show you from the back end how it actually sets up pretty good for them and how you have to be careful in this man coverage. Here's our back who has him in man coverage. They do a good job of getting him out here, and now they block him on the outside. This is the only thing that kind of hurts a man-aggressive defense. The Falcons have to be careful in these situations versus a guy like Hugh Hubbard in this ball game. If not, things like this can happen. So we got to be careful of that, Justin, but also we still got to keep that aggressive nature that Ryan Nielsen has always put up this season.
Yeah, Shock, I'm sure the Panthers saw that on tape as well. Something to look out for tomorrow. Thanks, DJ. And I'll tell you this, nothing would ever get DJ, myself, or Michael Jenkins to leave early birds. College football, little different story. We talk transfer portal plus.
Other than that, I feel like a lot of times the fans just don't see, you know, all the work that I do put in.
If you're trying to convince yourself to get to the gym for an hour later today, like I am, D. Alford is about to put us to shame. He takes you behind the scenes of his workout and prep routine next and Going Deep.
Hey Falcons fans, score a touchdown with low tire prices at Mavis Tires and Brakes, the official tire retailer of the Atlanta Falcons. Visit MavisTire.com to find a store near you. You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Best, nothing. And sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bang. And the Home Depot, how doers get more done. More early birds coming back at you. Early birds, listen up. It's not Saturday without some college football talk. Brought to you by Zaxby's. Indescribably good chicken fingers and wings. Here's Justin Felder.
Welcome back to Early Birds. We welcome in Michael Jenkins, and I'm sorry to confront you with this on TV, but you're not thinking of transferring to Rise Up tonight, right? Because we heard Kelly Price made you a very generous NIL offer. Are you thinking of moving?
No, I'm good. I like where I'm at right now.
All right, good. We're sticking with his commitment. He's a man of principle. Oh, we have no transfer portal on Fox 5. College football, different story. Your Buckeyes saw their quarterback hit the portal, backup QB Brock Vandagriff from Georgia. So, Jenk, what do you make of how the transfer portal has changed college football?
I mean, I'm still a little old school.
Okay.
It's crazy to say that I'm old school now. You know, I kind of still believe in like fighting for positions and things like that. But 2023, 2024, now kids have an opportunity, if things aren't working out in their current situation, to find a better home that they feel is better suited for them. And we can see it with the 4 Heisman, candidates.
Right.
3 of them were all transfers.
Yeah.
So that's the world we live in now.
Oh, okay, so that makes a good point. These guys transferred and turned in great careers. They had great seasons that were entertaining. But is this better for the game right now? It gives a lot of power to the players, which is great. Is it good for the game?
I mean, you have to say yes a little bit right now. I mean, obviously there's some times where we see all the guys that make it, right? The guys that do well and become Heisman finalists. But then what about the guys that don't make it? That don't make it to the next big school, and maybe they have to go from FBS to FCS.
Right.
We don't really see those stories. So overall, it's just where we are.
Yeah, you're right. There is a whole spectrum. That's a great point. And as we wait for bowl season, we're talking transfer portal. Also, a lot of decisions coming in whether guys are going to turn pro or stay in college. And there's a big factor with that wasn't around when you were playing college football making this decision. NIL money. What do you think of that factoring into guys' decisions?
I'm all for the players getting paid. And the numbers that we're hearing now, we see Marvin Harrison, they're saying that he could possibly, just possibly, around $20 million Ohio State is looking at. So it's just like, where does it stop? Where do we go from there? But I mean, these kids are getting opportunities to earn money, which they should off their name, image, and likeness. And we'll see if it gets relegated. We'll see if things change. But more power to the players.
Well, you had to make a decision, right, of whether to go pro, and being at Ohio State, you had that opportunity. Do you think, thinking back in time, that opportunity to make some significant money would have played into your decision?
I mean, I loved being a Buckeye. I love being in school. Obviously, you're going to want to make some money while you're there, and I would have really enjoyed that, obviously. But, when you have that opportunity to say, hey, you can make this versus this, you just kind of have to look at, what's best for that person, for them, So, me, I don't know. I spent 4 years and, end up going on after that. But
yeah, it's hard to turn down. It's certainly something a lot of these guys are thinking about. We're also thinking about bowl season getting started. Georgia Tech is less than a week from their bowl game. That's next Friday down in St. Pete. Jackets, they already sold out their allotment of bowl tickets, so they're excited, and they should be being back in a bowl.
Really, I mean, 2018 was the last time the Tech Jackets went bowling, and excited to see the fan base sell out the tickets that fast. Go down to that Tampa area, my hometown, Gasparilla and all that. So it'll be a really good game against UCF.
And it's, I'm sure Brent Key wants a win, but he's got to be really excited as a coach with a young team to get at these extra bowl practices too.
Oh, most definitely. So it's just this opportunity for the young guys that maybe didn't play a whole lot during the regular season, step up, see what they can do, and kind of know what they have going into next season.
Here's what the Jackets are saying as they get ready for the Gasparilla Bowl.
Since this is my first bowl game ever and all that, just going through the experience, just finally seeing like what you can do when you go to a bowl game, and just really seeing how you can really build upon what you're already building and getting ready for next year with these bowl practices, especially with the young guys. So it's real good for everybody just be getting those extra reps out there.
And maybe get a little revenge on UCF that they played before. Did you enjoy your bowl trips in addition to the actual game?
I really did. I really enjoyed playing in Tampa twice, Outback Bowl, Fiesta Bowl twice out in Arizona, and had a good time every time.
Excellent. We wish the Jackets the best of luck. Jenks, thank you so much for joining us. Shock, we'll send it over to you.
Justin, Jake can't leave us because he's making too much NIL over here at the early bird. So, it's all good.
That early bird NIL money.
All right.
Can I get some of that? Is that something I can look into?
No.
We'll talk about it, Shock.
All right, man. Appreciate it, fellas. Every week on Going Deep, we ask a Falcons player to explain something you might not know just from watching the game. Football is a team game, but it also takes doing a lot of work on your own. D. Alford says for him, that includes a lot of film and a serious workout routine. He explains in this week's Going Deep.
From the off season, I probably work out like maybe 3 times a day. I lift, I run, go to the track, I go do field work. I watch the film. I watch other guys around the NFL. I can speak on like Kenny Moore, guys like that who plays the nickel position. I watch a lot of their film and see how they was, reacting in certain situations, different things like that. But other than that, I feel like a lot of times the fans just don't see, all the work that I do put in. And for me, to be getting success, it takes a lot of hard work. And like I said earlier, just seeing that hard work pays off, it means a lot, and it makes you want to continue, to work hard.
Well, it's a team effort on the medical side of things for the Falcons as well. The head doctor will explain after the break.
You're watching Early Birds, presented by Mercedes-Benz, on your official home for Falcons football, Fox 5 Atlanta.
Welcome back to Early Birds. If you or I go to the doctor and they need someone else's expertise, you might find yourself with another appointment to make. For an injured player on a football field, though, things can move a little bit more quickly. That's the focus of this week's Emory Road to Recovery.
We have a huge team of healthcare professionals, medical professionals, training staff who cover the game with us. Basically every specialty is covered, and we have radios in our ears. We are always communicating. We communicate from the field, we communicate from the booth, we communicate from the locker room back to the field. So we are constantly communicating through the game. And then there's also, direct communication sidelines, as there's a group of us there on the sideline together, multiple kind of different specialties there communicating in person also.
Thanks, Doc. All right, coming up, I'll tell you what had a group of middle school students rushing to their gym on a Tuesday morning, while one Falcon said it's all about making the grade.
It's almost game time, Falcons fans. When the Falcons sack the opposing QB at home, you'll score a BOGO free Big Zack snack meal the day after the game. Valid online only at Atlanta area stores. Early Birds has been presented to you by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing. Hey Falcons fans, score a touchdown with low tire prices at Mavis Tires and Brakes, the official tire retailer of the Atlanta Falcons. Visit MavisTire.com to find a store near you.
Yeah, big applause for Kyle Pitts, and he was celebrating the real stars this week, the students at Jordan Middle School in Lawrenceville. The Kyle Pitts Foundation held a pep rally to celebrate the kids' academic success and wish them luck before finals. DJ, this is a great idea.
It is great. It looks kind of the same applause you have when you walk in the studio. Everybody goes crazy. Yeah, right. Unbelievable. No, I love seeing this. Kyle doing such great things in the community, taking the helmet off, showing people who he is and what he's about. Love seeing that.
Absolutely. They had a raffle, dance competition, they had photo ops, then a holiday parade through the school. Pitt stressed the value of education, gave them advice as they head towards their finals and, of course, towards winter break. We all know it's the most important this time of year for students. Well, important for us. Dirty Bird Report. Join us tomorrow evening, 11:30 p.m. We will break down the Falcons game against the Panthers, highlights, interviews, and so much more. That's 11:30 tomorrow night. Make sure to join us. So we got the Falcons and Panthers tomorrow. DJ, give us one more matchup to watch in that one.
So I'm going with Adam Thielen, a guy who has been around. He's a veteran of the game. And one thing that gives a rookie some confidence is a guy who is always open.
Yeah.
Can't allow that. We shut down Mike Evans last week, Chris Godwin. Let's do it again with Adam Thielen. Don't give him anything. Let's go get us a W, man. That's all I want. All I want is a W.
and maybe a Bucs Saints loss. That could factor those in somehow as well. It's a big one. They'll break it down on DBR. That's it, though, for us here on Early Birds. For DJ Shockley, I'm Justin Felder. Have a good morning and a great rest of your weekend.